Hey guys, so thought I would do another little video here. Right now I'm in my inbox and I received a message, and the message states, "I think my oppressors should apologize to me." Now there's no accompanying argument or explanation in relation to context, but I believe it's in relation to when I say things like no one owes anyone anything, no one owes you an apology, and right, so this person says, "I think my oppressors should apologize to me." Well, I suppose you would think that because that would then be in your best interest to have these people who have put in place all these systems of oppression suddenly yield to you, and it would cultivate, it would allow you for greater opportunity and cultivate your control and security and expand your freedoms and limit theirs, just as yours are now. See, it's in your personal interest, it's in your best interest, and it makes you no less selfish than these people. They aren't evil, and it makes them no more selfish. It's just, and when you think people owe you things, it's kind of like this complex fantasy um, about that you need to sustain in order to because it would be too frightening to sort of go through the trauma of accepting accepting that perhaps no one owes you anything. Perhaps we live in a society where people do things for themselves, and which is the case actually. It's an innate biological uh, inclination to self-preserve. It's not a tragedy. It's, if anything, perhaps you owe yourself an apology. Perhaps you owe it to yourself to transcend, to take initiative to transcend these barriers, and that it's conducive to the evolutionary dynamic. That's just how life progresses and perpetuates itself. I think there's just this massive culture of victimization, and where it's like we live in the age of information now. We can complain effectively, and accurately, and it's like people are emotionally invested in the identity of being a victim. Like, how screwed am I? You don't no, I'm more screwed than you, and it's like this hierarchy of, it's like, well, this many people owe me. Oh yeah, well, I'm owed by this many people, and it's like, oh man, yeah, you know, bow down to the supreme slave. Um, and I mean, it's something I've accepted. I've mourned the death of irrational ideals in my, as the ones that I relied on to sort of preserve what I didn't realize was inhibiting this sort of fantasy that I had. And I would advise that to everyone. No one owes you anything. And I think this video in itself is going to offend people for exactly the reasons that I'm stating here. And ironically, I think people are gonna be offended. I think they're gonna you guys think that, or certain people will think that they're entitled to my effort to repress how I feel, to be dishonest, to not give my opinion, my real opinion, because it might inconvenience people's irrational perspectives. That this is that the truth. I mean, the truth is insensitive, innately. I was. It is what it is. I mean, I'm completely content with the idea that someone could potentially kick my door in right now, demand all of my money, and fucking kill me. Wow. Oh, I cursed there, right? Um, so I mean, I don't want that to happen, obviously. I value my life, my opportunity, that my relationship with the world and people, and I love all of it. But I'm not going to just sit around complaining that there are people who in the world who want things for themselves. It is what it is. It's not a tragedy. That's all I would like to say. Love you all.